You don't have time to stare at charts all day. You have a job, you have kids, you have a life, whatever it is, you can't spend 40 hours a week day trading. In today's video, I'm going to get you set up with a strategy that you literally only need to watch the first 5-minute candle of the day on, a scanner that you will just pick the top 5 stocks on and spread your buying power across in order to lower your risk, and a conditional order that will automate your exit so there's no work on the back end for you. The thesis of this strategy is simple. We scan for stocks that have been strong for multiple days in a row on the daily chart, as that means there is a higher percentage chance that they will continue to be strong intraday today. So right at market open every day, you're going to run this scanner. We're going to build this scanner later in today's video. You then pick the top 5 stocks off of it to split your buying power across, once again, to lower your downside risk. I then head over into this workspace, which I'm also going to give you for free. Really, the longer you spend watching today's video, the more free value you're going to get. But from here, I can watch my automated trade strategy for when the entrances occur and enter them and get my exit conditional order set up on all my positions so that I can walk away from the screen. These are all 5-minute charts. It's really best if you can give yourself 20-25 minutes after market open to watch, because sometimes these setups are delayed, as you see here on this top right chart. But if you truly, honestly, only can give 5 minutes a day to trading stocks, don't worry, that will still work just fine. As you notice with this trade, and this trade here next to my head, most entrances with this strategy happen on that first 5-minute candle. Let's get to work on building the scanner first, because who gives a shit what the strategy is if you can't find the setups to take them? I actually think that's why most beginner traders lose money. They apply the right strategies to the wrong setups. But that's a rant for a completely different video. Let's go ahead and jump into getting this scanner built. We're about to start writing a little bit of very simple custom thinkorswim codes. If you are interested in this sort of stuff, I have published over 150 custom thinkorswim coded scanners, studies, strategies, etc. over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net. There's even a handful of free ones, completely free, no credit card, no email, anything available. So go check that out. It is also currently, if you're watching this video in November, the Black Friday sale. You can use code TURKEY at checkout to take 70% off of the annual plan. That is 12 months of access to every new code I will add to this website, as well as lifetime access to the Discord server, which consists of over 900 other members making use of these codes, and you get access to all of that for less than $120. Anyway, daytradingstrategies.net. It will be linked in the description down below this video. First, we need a way to quantify strength on the daily chart. To do that, we are going to use a very, very simple price action study. It's called percent change. All it's measuring is the distance in the price of the current candle away from the candle 14 bars ago. That's it. It's a very, very simple price action calculation. It's just, once again, a way that we can quantify our theory of strong daily chart, which is likely to have strong intraday continuation today. So I'm going to come to my add filters up here in the top right. We are going to add one of type study, then into the pencil icon and into the ThinkScript editor, we can quickly build this out. So the name of the percent change study is percent CHG. We are referencing the study function, so we need to open and close parentheses. Then our value that the percent change must be greater than is 30. We are also, however, not quite done. We're also going to change a parameter inside of the percent change study. So by default, the percent change goes off of closing price, meaning the close of the current candle, or if it's open, the current price away from the close of the bar 14 candles ago. If you do this, you are then throughout the day always dealing with ever-changing prices, as obviously the close also represents the current price of the bar. So to make sure that only stocks appear on this scanner and that the scan results aren't changing throughout the day, because if that happens, like if your scan results are changing too much throughout the day, you will end up running your strategy on things that you actually didn't test it was successful on. Does that make sense? Like when I run my back test, I go back and run my scanner on past days and I go, oh, all these 5 stocks are really strong. I run my strategy back test against that. Of course, they're all going to be profitable if I'm basing it on the closing price because that day they were strong. So, of course, the strategy made money that day. So, of course, whenever you are building optimized, or sorry, not optimized, but whenever you are building quantifiable statistic trading systems like this, you need to make sure that you're not cheating. I do that by setting the price parameter inside of the percent change function to open rather than close. So now it's taking the open of the current candle, combining the percent change from the open of 14 candles ago. That must be greater than 30 in order for the stock to appear on the scanner. And of course, none of these results will change at all over the course of a trading day because the opening price is never going to change. Now, I haven't mentioned this yet because I do like to sprinkle in a little added value as you watch the video longer, but there is a second parameter to this scanner. It's not just, is the stock up a lot, but also, is the stock breaking into recent blue sky highs? I don't want to see any near overhead resistance. That aids to the fact that there is even a higher percentage chance likelihood that the stock will continue to be strong intraday today. So I'm going to add another study filter. We're once again going to hop into the ThinkScript editor and build this out. So I want to see that the high value from the previous day bar, because remember, you're going to be running this scanner at market open. So the high of the previous day bar is greater than the highest high value, separate your parameters with a comma, out of the last 10 bars. And then of course we need to offset this by 2 to not include the bar from yesterday, because yesterday's high value can never be greater than itself, right? So yesterday, the highest high price must be greater than every candle 10 before that. So there is no recent local overhead resistance on the ticker on the daily chart. Finally, if we run our scanner as it is, you will see we end up with just a lot of really low volume crap. This stuff will not be tradable. Of course, we would like to kick it out of our results. So to do that, I'm not just going to add in a simple volume filter. I'm going to instead come into, once again, another study filter, and once again into the ThinkScript editor. I want the volume to be greater, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, than 5 million. Or the average volume over the last 14 bars to be greater than 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So essentially, if you run this scanner right at market open, which you should do, the stocks probably haven't traded over 5 million shares yet. So there's also another catch. If the average volume of the previous 14 candles is greater than 5 million, that stock will also be returned in the list. As I run this now, we should see that all of that low volume crap has been kicked out. If it wants to hurry up and load, here it goes. We now get down to just 19 results, all of which trading plenty of volume for us to be happy with the liquidity. Oh, just one more thing quick. This isn't pertinent to only this scanner, but really all of my thinkorswim scanners. I like to come to exclude here, and I like to exclude all over-the-counter stocks. I noticed that because you can take a look here at one of our results, GMZP. It is a 0.0003 cent stock. That is not something I will ever have any interest in trading at some like over-the-counter, like Wolf of Wall Street, pink slip crap. Go ahead and let's exclude all of those from our results as well. We are now down to just 15 stocks. So now, how do we sort them to find the ones that are the most likely to continue to be strong intraday today? To do that, we're going to also build out a custom results column. This is very important. Just having the results is one thing, but being able to sort them by the best setups is probably the most important part. So what this custom column is doing is it's counting the number of days in a row that the stock has been above 30 based off of the percent change using the opening price. For example, if we go look at the number one stock right now, SNDK has been above 30 on the percent change for 13 consecutive bars. If we go look at SNDK on the daily chart, we can in fact see that this thing has been a ridiculously strong stock for a ridiculously long time. The longer the stock has been strong on the intraday chart, the higher percentage chance that it has to continue to be strong today. as you can see, true in this name. This is actually a pretty useful custom column for really a lot of different scanners you build. Being able to find strong stocks like this is nuts. I actually had no idea, honestly, until I started making this video that SNDK was up this much. This is pretty nuts, actually. But anyway, back over into our scanner. What I was going to do is I was going to build this custom column step by step with you. But honestly, it's kind of confusing. Like, unless you understand code and understand counting loops, etc., you're really not going to grasp what I talk about trying to teach you this thing. So instead, let's just make it all a lot easier. I've gone ahead and put the share link for this code in the description down below this video. Just simply go copy that code back within your Thinkorswim. You're going to come to setup in the top right, open shared item, paste in that URL, preview, and import. Now you will be able to come into this little cog on your scan column, go into customize, and if you look up, I think it's called DTS consecutive runners, go ahead and add that. You will now have this column running in your scanner. So instead of trying to build it and explain how the code works step by step, all of that, I just went ahead and gave you the share link, by the way. That's how easy it is to import any and all of the 150 custom coded Thinkorswim codes from my website, daytradingstrategies.net. So you all now have both the scanner and the custom column to help you find the highest percentage chance setups. Next, let's talk about this workspace. And once again, I'm going to make this extremely simple. What I could do is sit here and set up this workspace for the next 15 minutes to make more ad revenue off this video. Rather than doing that, once again, I'm also going to put the share link for this workspace down in the description down below. So once again, all you need to do is copy that URL, set up, open shared item, paste, preview, and import. Now, workspaces are a little funny. When you import a workspace, it's going to give it to you in this pop-up. If you would like to be able to reference and load in this workspace in the future, from this pop-up, you need to click into this little box of boxes here, left click into this, and then you need to save your grid as. Mine is called runners. Obviously, name yours whatever you would like to, but you need to make sure you save that grid. Else, after you close that pop-up, you won't be able to load it in the future. You load it in from the same way in your flexible grid. Oh, sorry. This is in my charts subtab, not in my flexible grid. This is in my charts subtab here. Come to the box of boxes. You should now see runners is here. So whenever you would like to load in this workspace in the future, all you need to do is click on this. So now we've built the scanner together. I've given you 2 share links for the important custom scan column and my trading workspace. Guys, my business advertising strategy is I want to give away better stuff than most people make you pay for. I hope you feel like that's true, and I hope you appreciate it. Anyway, let's now move on to what most of you have probably been waiting for, the entrance and exit conditions for this strategy. And remember, part of that exit condition is we are going to build together a conditional order that once you enter a trade, all you need to do is type in this conditional order. You can then walk away from your screen and go do whatever else you need to do for the rest of your day. Zooming in on one chart here just to make it a little easier to see, we actually don't have a lot more to talk about for the entrance condition of this strategy. We've really already laid it all out. Everything needs to align with what we built on the scanner. The stock needs to be trading higher than the highest high out of the last 10 bars, and it needs to be greater than 30 based on the opening value of the percent change study. But that's already been built into the scanner. So as long as the stock is on the scanner, it's already aligned with its entrance conditions. There's only one more condition that needs to be true intraday, and that has to do with this cyan line on the chart. What's being plotted on the chart from my custom code is the days open, and the third and final condition of the entrance for this strategy is that the stock must be trading above today's open. So essentially there must be some sign of intraday strength before we go to enter and look for that strength to continue based on the other factors we already scanned for on the daily chart. Now let's go ahead and get the conditional order set up for our exit condition so that you can just walk away from your screen, go do whatever else you need to do for the rest of the day. So I've gone ahead and moved over to the simulated trading side of Thinkorswim so that I don't actually have to use my real money for this. And I've gone ahead and bought 100 shares of TERN. This is, of course, just for example's sakes. If it were the actual strategy, I would have been in on the first candle of the day, but we've gone ahead and entered 100 shares. Let's say it was market open. This was the size we wanted to take, so we took it. In your active trader window with auto send unchecked, that's important because we need the pop-up confirmation window to come up. I'm going to go ahead with the quantity that I want to sell and hit sell market. This will pop up our confirmation window as I just mentioned, and from this we need to go into edit, which is going to pop up this fun window. And from this, we're going to go into the settings cog on the far right here. That will pop up our order rules modal. And from here, we can begin to build out our exit conditions so that this order will only fire when one of those exit conditions becomes true. So at the top here, of course, we are selling our 100 shares that we're in. The price rules being set to market is very important. Since we are setting up price action type conditions, we need it to be a market sell, even if you normally use limit orders, because if you set a limit price, if the conditions fire way below that price, then you just won't be filled, right? So you do need to leave this on market, and time and force being set today is perfectly fine. This is a day trading strategy. The order will be filled by the end of the day anyway. In fact, that is one of our 3 exit conditions. We have an exit condition for profit. Of course, we have a stop loss. And then as aforementioned, we have our end of day catch. This is a day trading strategy. I don't want to hold it overnight. So we also get out at market close. That'll be very important to get built in. So from our order rules here, we can now move down to the conditions section. You simply left click into this little box here under symbol and then into method. You're going to left click, come down to study, and then hop into edit. And this is once again going to give us a ThinkScript editor modal from which we can use a little bit of very simple ThinkScript code to build out our conditions. First, let's start with the end of day catch, since we've already mentioned it a couple times. We're going to use a function called seconds. Oops, I'm not typing. We're going to use a function called seconds from time. This is a function, so open and close parentheses. And then within the parentheses, we actually need to set up the time that we want our seconds to be from. We're using a 5-minute chart, so I'm going to go with 5 minutes before market close. So that would be 15:55. Thinkorswim uses a 24-hour clock. Also very important to note, you'll need to set this up specifically for your own time frame. So I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. I live on the East Coast. My market closes at 4 o'clock or 1600, obviously. If you're in the Mountain Time, you'll need to go 2 hours back or whatever it is. I don't know my time zones. I think Mountain Time is 2 hours back. Anyway, you need to set up this time for whatever time zone you are in and set it up for 5 minutes before market close on the 24-hour scale. And we're going to set this equals to using 2 equal signs 0. So when there are no seconds left until 3:55, the order will execute. So at 3:55, the order will execute. We'll go ahead and sell our shares if we're still in. Now we need to build out our other 2 conditions, our profit and our stop loss. To do this, we are going to join all of our conditions together with the conditional formatting keyword of or. Or means that if any one of these conditions are true, the order will fire. So next, let's go ahead and build out our profit take exit. On a continuation trading strategy like this, meaning on a buy high, sell higher strategy, returning subscribers to my YouTube channel will probably know what I'm about to say. I have no upside profit target. There is no amount of green I will sell into on continuation trading strategies. And I've been building trading strategies using code in Thinkorswim for over 6 years now. I've done a crap load of testing on this. What is the most profitable is just to let the stock run until it proves to you that it is no longer strong. And there's a lot of ways to go about this. The way I go about it in this specific strategy is I say that the RSI study must be less than 40. So if the relative strength index study comes down below 40, I will also get out of the trade then. Now we need to set up our stop loss. So once again, we have one more condition. Once again, use the conditional formatting keyword of or the close, which also once again represents the current price in Thinkorswim, is less than the open. So remember, our third and final condition for entrance, other than what we build in the scanner, is that the stock must be above today's open. Well, if we fall back down below today's open, that's our stop loss. That's where we'll go ahead and get stopped out of this trade. And since we are running this code against the daily time frame, all we need to do is say close, once again, current price less than open. This automatically sets it up to today's open in the data. So here's our three exit conditions: our end of day catch, our profit lock, and our stop loss. So I've already given you a few free codes in today's video. If you would like to also access both the strategy code and that conditional order code so that you don't have to worry about setting it up yourself, they are of course available over on daytradingstrategies.net alongside over 150 other custom Thinkorswim codes. Remember, once again, as long as you're watching this video before Thanksgiving, the Black Friday sale is currently on. This is the largest sale of the year. Guys, you pay for anything with either money or with time. What I'm trying to have you do with this service is I'm trying to save you years of time. I've been building these codes once again for over 6 years. I'm trying to save you that time, and especially now with this sale. I mean, even before this sale, I'm only asking $400 to save you years of time. Now with this sale, you can save years of time for less than $120. And once again, tacked on top of that at absolutely no additional cost if you sign up for the annual plan is access to a Discord server, which currently consists of over 900 members. I created this because I truly believe the best way to become a better trader is to be in a community of like-minded traders. And this is just a great place to be to help achieve that. Once again, all this comes at no additional cost when you sign up for the annual plan. Use code TURKEY and you can get it for less than $120. Head on over to daytradingstrategies.net. Listen, at least go take advantage of the free codes. Why not? Also, if you have any questions about exactly how it works, there's a quick 1-minute video tutorial showcasing how easy it is to import, save, and open all of the code types, from my website into your Thinkorswim. While you're over there, make sure you read the reviews, help decide for yourself if this is something that could help accelerate your personal trading journey. Sign up today and become a better trader immediately.